What is going on, guys? It is Coaster Watch here, and today I'll be giving you guys my top 10 roller coasters in the state of Florida. So, I moved to Florida about 5 years ago, and man, this has been probably one of the best experiences of my life. I love the state so much. I go to a great school that lets me do what I love. There's amusement parks everywhere, world-class theming. They're not the most intense rides, but some of them are. But I mean, I love living in the state. It is so much fun. But today I'll be giving you guys my top 10 roller coasters in the state, plus some honorable mentions. And note that the Gravity Group Woody is not out yet at Fun Spot Kissimmee, and I've not gotten to White Lightning. But I think the Gravity Group Woody would probably make my number 5 spot, and the White Lightning, I think that'll probably make my number 3 or 4 spot, somewhere around there. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to start off with a few honorable mentions because this place has too many great coasters. So first off, we got our 2 honorable mentions at Busch Gardens, Tampa. We got Scorpion, which this may look like a kiddie coaster, but trust me, it's not. You do not want to skip out on this ride. It is a great ride. And then we got Cobra's Curse, which I do prefer Scorpion to Cobra's Curse just because Cobra's Curse actually really is a family ride. The theming is great. There's live snakes in here. There's like a little show sort of thingy with like moving. Like, it looks like a painting on the wall, but like the paintings move. It's so cool. And the ride itself is really nice. But honestly, it's mostly the theming that does it for me. Next up, we got The Mummy at Universal Orlando. At Universal Studios, not Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios. And wow, this is a great ride. This is my favorite indoor roller coaster that I've been on. I've been on a few others. No, Rock and Roller Coaster is my favorite. But The Mummy is my second favorite. The Mummy is just great. There's like a lot of forwards and backwards stuff, and there's like the theming is out of this world, especially on the ride. Speaking of coasters with theming out of this world, Expedition Everest at Walt Disney's Animal Kingdom. Wow, this is some of the best theming I've ever seen in my life. They built a freaking nearly 200-foot mountain to build this coaster around and inside. That's insane. Then we have my favorite theming on any roller coaster, the Rock and Roller Coaster. Man, so like when you're outside, there's not much. When you walk in, it's kind of like a studio place. It's so cool. And you're going to walk in, you're going to see like Aerosmith. They're like, oh yeah, we're late for a gig. Let's get a super stretch limo or some crap. I'm going to go in, and then it literally looks like a freaking like parking garage, dude. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Like, that's like the most diverse theming within one area. Like, it's so good. But anyways, those are just our honorable mentions. Those are all great rides. And let's just get straight into it. So, starting off at the number 10 spot is the Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios. And, wow, I really love this ride. The operations are nice. This will usually be the longest line in the park next to the, Harry Potter Forbidden Journey. This will probably be the longest ride within the 2 Universal parks. This is at the Universal Studios Park, the main one. When you're sitting in row 4, you actually get some nice airtime over the non-inverting loop. A couple more moments throughout the ride. But I mean, other than that, it doesn't really do much. The thing that bothers me... Oh yeah, and I love the vertical lift. It's awesome. And the music. But the thing that I don't like is all the brake runs. That really, really kills this ride for me. If it weren't for that, this ride would be much more intense. So yeah, that is Rip Ride Rocket, guys. So, and coming in at the number 9 spot is the Chinese Fireball at Universal's Islands of Adventure. And this is one of the lowest ranked B&M inverts. But if you're like me, all B&M inverts are good rides. And this one... definitely an example of that. Now, its counterpart, Hungarian Horntail, which is the blue side, isn't nearly as good as the red side Chinese Fireball. Because this one actually, the drop is larger. There's one more inversion. Very forceful ride. It was very fun. I remember I marathoned the blue side, but then I rode this one on the last time in the back row. Man, I love this ride. And then now coming in at the number 8 spot is the Hulk coaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. And this launch really, really surprised me. I haven't ridden it since the retracking, but I'm sure it's a lot smoother now. Man, but this was just like a cool ride. The theming was pretty good in the queue. There wasn't really too much theming outside of that. It was pretty forceful. The first half was great. The second half, it was intense, but it was very rough. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have Sheikra, which I think is the best dive coaster in North America. Now, Griffin and Valraven are taller. Valraven is longer, but I think this one is definitely the most forceful ride. You should sit in the back row for this ride, definitely, no doubt. Yeah, because when you sit in the back row, you're gonna get way higher G-force. You're probably gonna gray out at the bottom of the first drop. You're almost gonna get some hang time over the Immelman. And you get a bit of floater air coming down the second drop, so it's a really cool feeling. And Sheikah's a really fun ride. You definitely cannot miss out on this one either. Coming in at number 6 is Nanta. Now, I have mixed feelings about this coaster. Like, most flying coasters in general are not very intense. Like the Superman Ultimate Flights and the Flying Dutchmans, the Vekoma Flying Dutchmans, they aren't the most intense, but they're still pretty fun. I really like it. This ride, I think, is a front row ride. Be able to see everything. You're going to be able to see iDrive, maybe even the new Universal Water Park, Aquatica, Turtle Trek, the Dolphin Stadium, you name it. The pretzel loop is insane. The inversion, this is a very nice ride. This is better. This is one of the better flying coasters. I still think Tatsu is better. Maybe Batwing is better, but this is a really nice ride. But it's just a thing with me and flying coasters. I don't really dig them too much. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we have Cheetah Hum. And I think I like this ride, but I think it's one of the most overrated coasters in the world. This one is very, very family-oriented. The theming in the queue, there's not really... Well, no, there's good theming. It's not stellar, but it's good. It's pretty good. The operations on this thing are very nice, but lines can get very, very long. Like, and I'm talking 90 minutes, while all the rest of the rides are like 20. But generally, you're only going to get about 40 to 50-minute waits on this. But this is a family ride, so everyone's going to like it. Not the most intense. The launches are not as intense as you would think they would be. There's a couple airtime moments, but I mean, other than that, it doesn't really do too much. But I mean, it's still a fun ride. It's a nice long ride. That's why I like it so much. And you always get stapled on this ride. That's really, really annoying when I'm trying to let loose a little bit. But if this had lap bars, I think it would be actually higher. So coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a very, very intense floorless coaster. One of the more forceful coasters that I've been on. Just like the next 3 above this one. But, man, Kraken is a fun ride. Now, I feel like if you sit in this in any row, that's what I like about this ride. If you sit in any row, you're probably going to get pretty much the same experience. But except the front row is going to be smoother. But I still think this is more of a back row ride. But, yeah, that's Kraken, guys. And coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Kumba. Wow. This thing is in the back of the park, so it's very neglected. Waits, the longest wait I've ever seen for this is 10 minutes. No joke. But, man, holy crap. You have to sit on the right side for this ride, no matter what row. Because once you go through that hell roll, the 0G roll, oh my gosh, bro. Your arms are going to fall off. I think this is more of a front row ride. The back and the middle are very, very rough. That's the thing about this coaster. I would put this at the number 2, maybe even the number 1 spot, if it weren't so rough, in my opinion. And, yeah, just sit in the front, trust me. It's very headbangy. Coming at the number 2 spot, we have Montu, my favorite B&M inverted coaster in the world. I think this has potential to beat out Banshee and Afterburn. Maybe not. But who knows? But wow, this is just a graceful, beautiful ride. If you sit on the back right, you're just gonna fling through all those inversions. Every time I ride this first in the day, I usually gray out 3 or 4 times. Man, and that freaking butterfly loop, the butterfly loop. Oh man, that thing is insane. It's a shame it's trimmed, but yeah. If you want to hear more about this, I have a full review on this coaster. I made it like a month ago, so go check that video out. And coming in at the number 1 spot in the state of Florida, you guys already know what it is. New for 2016, Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This is hands down my favorite B&M Hyper. Yeah, I've only been on 2 of them. But I think this has potential to be a top 5 B&M Hyper. The airtime is great. I think there's some ejector moments on this. If you sit in the back, you're going to go flying on this drop. The banks are pretty good. They're nothing special. They're just banks. Yeah, but the airtime hills, man. Well, that last one is more floater, but dude, this ride is so much fun. And I recommend sitting in both rows. I prefer the back row for the airtime, but in the front, it's just a whole different experience. Because when you're at the bottom of the drop, you just feel like a kick of energy come out of nowhere. It's great. You have to try both rows, and they'll let you pick. If you just ask nicely, they'll just let you pick your row. So, yeah. That's my top 10 roller coasters in the state of Florida, guys. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more daily content. And, as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.